For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Hello and welcome to episode 95 of That's a Shame. I am Declan. Sat across from me is Isaac, and let me just say, there's no bullshit today.
None.
We're cutting straight through that. Don't worry about my car. Don't worry about the flat. Don't worry about the World Cup.
No.
This is content. This isn't fun. This is features.
Wheat from the chaff.
Right.
Uh-huh.
How you been?
Good. That's all I'll say on that. Okay, now don't go probing for more.
No, shan't.
I'm
fine.
full of hilarious anecdotes. I'm saving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Wednesday.
No, this is Wednesday.
Oh, for Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
I was testing you.
Yeah, I'm on the ball.
I'm just making
How are you?
sure. Good.
Okay, let's crack on with it then.
We've got a feature,
Yeah,
but it's better than that.
it's a meta feature.
It's a meta compound feature.
It's really quite beautiful, and I am staggered by the amount of time and effort we put into it this week.
At least.
All of the time.
Yeah,
that there
all of
was,
that, yeah.
pretty much 100% of it. It's called. Haven't cleared this with you. The feature is called Feature Pitch.
Okay.
Now,
Is that
can
a
you see what
slight
I've done
pun
there?
on Nick Hornby's fever pitch?
It is now not one of those puns where it implies any relationship to the thing.
No, couldn't be further from it.
Other than it's sounding similar.
Yeah. And they both involve the word pitch.
Yeah, that was a big one. Now, that could be seen to some as a World Cup reference, but let me just get ahead of that and say that it's not.
No.
Absolutely, definitively no World Cup references today at all whatsoever, despite Germany just being knocked the fuck out. Bye, lads.
That will explain the perhaps slightly more buoyant mood that I might be in this horrid, suffocating chamber of doom. So, would you like to explain Feature Pitch?
What it is.
Because what's great about that title and us having explained it is that in a way already sets the listener up.
Fuck. This is
for what's
clever.
going on. This is when we try.
Yeah.
It's
unfair when we try, which is why we don't do it more often.
Yeah,
because
those guys
at
at
a very
Pod
young
Save
age,
America.
It was like when Dash is held back in the races by Mrs. Incredible, and she's like, "Not too fast, Dash," and so he's like hanging out at the back, and then they're like, "Well, you can go a bit faster," so he like zooms ahead and then pulls it back to second. That's kind of our approach to putting an effort to things.
Yeah.
Welcome to Feature Pitch. I'm your host Isaac. I'm with Declan. In Feature Pitch, this is the no laughs a minute, serious as fuck. Show content generating machine where we each of us set aside, I don't know how long it took you, but I've been working on this for a good while. I'll just say that much. Yeah. We set aside a good while to come up
Longer
with,
than we have on any other real feature ever, I
by
think.
miles, to come up with 5 ideas for features for this Wednesday episode moving forwards. It's a collaborative process. We're going to pitch them as they were originally, but then you're going to get to see in real time, listeners, or hear the process. And it's that process of collaboration and of throwing spaghetti at Declan's face and seeing which bits he laps up that really is the hallmark of the show.
And for veteran listeners, not you fucking namby-pamby listeners who dropped in halfway at episode 40
I don't
because you saw an
even
advert.
exist.
This should be something of a nostalgic throwback. Probably more callback. Throwback has some unfortunate connotations, doesn't it?
Throwback Wednesday.
Callback to episode... What was that, Isaac?
It was episode numero 10.
Oh!
The pilot.
Give us a taste where we did the same thing but with names for the show.
Yeah.
In which none of the names that we actually pitched ended up coming into
None of the ones
show.
on our list. at
No,
least.
but we from that created something
We threw
greater
them all,
than the sum of
we
its
sort of
parts.
vomited it all onto the floor and then swirled it all
We
around.
were just rolling
and then
around.
What grew there as a result of some sort of biological process was that's a shame, and we named the show after it.
Having just killed it, whatever it was. So maybe none of these features will ever see the light of day, but from them,
all ideas.
something will come. And there are, as we say, no bad ideas.
Bad ideas
I don't know what I said, but it was close to that.
in workshopping.
No. So go on.
Would you like to kick it off, or
No,
shall I?
I'd like you to kick it off.
Feature idea number 1. I'm
Come on.
going to warn you, I've got a bonus one as well.
Oh!
But we'll come to that later. This one requires a hand action that you're going to have to describe, okay? So
Okay.
this is how we'd introduce it, probably in the form of a jingle.
Yeah.
Ding dong, dad vice. Ding dong, dad vice.
Ding dong, dad vice. So you sort of ding donged as if you were pushing a doorbell.
Yeah, but it was actually a big dad that you're
It was
pushing in
actually-
his forehead, in his third eye.
Right. Okay. And what's going on there? Is it my job to guess?
No. I'm going to tell you my original conception.
Okay,
and I want to see
good.
if you can innovate on this. So I'm going to, as it were, throw you the ball, and
Yeah.
then you're going to see if you can run it across the end line. And that's, of course, a mini golf.
Yes.
Sporting terminology. In my conception, this is an advice feature that we take straight to the doors of dads, wherever they are, and we come at them strong, probably without forewarning, but I guess we'd have to have maybe a sub feature where we stake out all the dads in our neighbourhood. Then we ding the
that
dong.
was going to be one of my questions.
Uh-huh.
So you said an advice.
Yeah, we're
feature.
going to call it dad vice quite exclusively though, because I am working on
a dad vice.
a trademark for that.
A
yeah.
dad vice feature.
And there's that thing, if you don't protect your copyright by enforcing it wherever possible,
Yeah.
people can be like, oh, we're going to take dad vice and maybe...
If I were, let's say,
Lose the
someone
vision.
outside of the show, I'd think
Uh-huh.
this feels like an advice
Yeah, it is.
show.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But-
what I was going to say was, it sounds like this is dad vice that we're forcing onto people having committed a crime against them for several weeks.
Well, crime is
Because
one of those-
normally, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but normally dad vice or advice columns, whichever people are taking.
Are you saying there are already dad vice columns?
No, I'm
right,
just,
okay.
I'm
It's just-
leaving it open.
Yeah, just in
because we
case.
don't,
We're never
we
sure.
We haven't scoped out the whole.
No, I'll
market
admit
yet.
I've
Yeah.
only done, a limited
Minimal, yeah.
amount of research. So far.
Yeah, but normally the person seeking tutelage that writes into you, and then when you get that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
formulate a response.
I'm
Because
glad.
otherwise, you could be giving some misguided, or I don't want to jump the gun here. I'm not poo-pooing the feature. Perhaps some unwanted.
It's really
dad
good that you
advice.
brought this up,
Yeah.
because this is something that I thought about a great deal during the formation phases, I suppose, of Ding Dong Dad Vice. We've got a real problem in this country, and I would venture to say in the West as a whole, and I understand that even in countries like Japan, South Korea, this is also an issue of a crisis of masculinity. Men are, suffering under mental illness in ways that they haven't before, and they feel like they don't have an outreach for it, an outlet. And that can lead to vast swathes of the population refusing to seek help because it's seen as a weakness. And as, I'm not a real man if I talk about my problems and if I ask for dad advice of any form, whether it's from a doctor, from a podcaster, from a friend. And I think how better to approach that problem head on than to, I don't want to say force, but thrust is definitely better. Thrust
Neither
the dad
of
vibes
those.
straight through the letterbox and see what bites. How do you feel about that?
Well, for a long while there, I thought you were really committing to the whole "no laughs a minute" tagline of the feature. I'm thinking that
Dads aren't going to come to
potentially-
us.
No, they aren't. Not to start with.
Okay.
But what I'm
You're saying
thinking
there might be
is,
some momentum.
what I'm thinking is, if someone's really shy,
Yeah.
and they have
Shy dads.
or we're not talking about dads here,
Oh.
just someone.
Why-
So
why?
It's
Because that's not really in the scope of the project.
it's just an analogy.
Right, okay, go on.
So someone, let's say they're someone at school, right?
Okay,
and they're
Martin.
Martin's anxious. Yeah, he's shy. And so, like the dads from Ding Dong, Dad Advice.
We're saying it like, I don't know
Dad
if you got this,
advice,
like we're...
yeah.
Like
an Avon lady.
Like we're knock knock. Hello, Avon lady.
Yeah.
That sort of
So like the dads who would feature, will feature
Yeah.
on Ding Dong, Dad Vice.
There are a few different intonations
Yeah,
that you're
okay,
allowed
yeah.
as well, and we can kind of shuffle through those as the weeks go on.
Thanks, that's good.
Maybe even open it up to like listener submissions.
Yeah,
for-
I'm on
for
board
what
for
the jingle
that.
will
See
be
if Ollie's got a harp rendition of it or something.
like. That'd be hot.
So like those dads, he has an issue.
Yeah.
And because of his issue, and because of the stigmatized nature of that issue, he's not seeking help, right? Now, there are lots of things you could do to help Martin, but I feel like
I'm not interested in helping Martin at the moment.
No,
because
I
this
know
is
that
a
you're not.
Purely big dad focus.
Yeah, I recognise.
Right, okay,
And
just
what I'm
get
saying
that
is
out
that to get this across, like how you want to help the dads,
Yeah.
let's say I wanted
I think
to
we
help
need
Martin, and we need to help Martin, is that one of the ways we wouldn't do it is by going, hey, Martin, and then shoving him on stage in the middle of Hamlet, telling him he's Hamlet, and him not knowing any of the lines. Because I feel like rather than build his character, that might simply further traumatise him and cause him to regress further and be less willing to come forward. So if in Ding Dong, Dad Vice, you go to a dad's door and you ding dong,
Yeah.
and you say Dad Vice, and they're like, I'm a dad, what do you mean? And you go,
I know.
you need to be
I know
less
Steve
toxically
Harrow.
masculine, mate.
Yeah.
I feel like the success rate is going to be poor.
I think that's part of the journey, though, isn't it? It's showing that not every swing is a hit. There's going to be misses, and that's the kind of reality bite that we can bring to the listenership through Ding Dong Dad Vice. Because at the end of the day, who's more stoic than a dad? And really, they are the patriarchy in the most literal sense.
Yeah.
And if we can start crumbling down their conceptions of masculinity that are ultimately harming all of us, then I feel like Ding Dong Dad Vice could do a huge amount of benefit for the world at large.
I think so. I think there needs to be maybe slightly more of, I won't say willingness, because I don't know your
You're
mind,
saying
but
it should
I'm
be a
saying
video
that-
feature.
I'm saying there should be perhaps more of a guarantee on your part that you are willing to evolve your strategy as the results come in.
We can do single dads as well, if that's what you're getting at.
No, it's not at all.
Bereaved dads.
No, because you see,
Old dad.
I'm
Granddads.
considering them
That's
all
good, actually.
together. I'm
Well,
not dad
I wouldn't lump
discriminatory.
them into one group. That's denying their lived experience.
No, but by saying that a single dad is somehow less of a dad.
Did I say less?
You did, because previously you weren't even considering talking to them.
No. I was just saving it for season 2.
Oh.
That's when we really ramp
Oh,
up.
I see. So they're just a fucking box tick, are they, to you?
We've got to get the funding somehow.
They don't just give this money away.
Arts Council will be chomping at the bit. Your favourite phrase?
I've
So-
got a different feature.
Okay, we'll put that pin in that one for now.
Yeah, pop that to the side.
Okay.
This feature's called Full Metal Detlev.
Oh, that's a really striking image. Can I just say?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Straight off the bat, like it doesn't tell me so much about what the feature will be content-wise, but as a branding exercise, I'm already sold. Tell me what it is.
It's interesting because Detlev, whilst it refers to exactly nothing in particular,
Uh-huh.
you put that full metal in front of it.
Yeah, really.
Bang! Suddenly you've got this
cements
image.
it into place.
Yeah. Well, Full Metal Detlev is based on a game that you and I used to play with each other.
Uh-huh.
Zombies. No.
Oh.
At university.
Oh, yeah.
In which we would take film, television, book titles, etc. And the job was to replace a single word with an expletive of our choice. And
Or not always expletive so much as just
No.
like a really dud word.
Yeah, like
a word
something-
that had the opposite of film title gravitas.
yeah, something that was like phonetically weak and
Yeah.
spongy. Like spongy.
Yeah.
So my dinner with spongy.
Oh, good to know.
And we'd then, after a couple of them, once we'd hit the gold dust, try and figure out what on earth any of these could
Would be about.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that we could maybe take a user submitted word and then a different user submitted medium, and we've got to
Make the film.
smash them together And well, that feels like a lot. That's maybe a Patreon goal or something.
If we get like $2 a month,
then
we'll
make
the
a
feature
full
film, Full Metal Debt Lev.
box office.
That's a good
Full
idea.
Metal Debt Lev.
Because that's a kind of value that very few podcasts are able to offer, financially speaking.
Yes,
I'm
really good reason.
into it. I can see the danger might be just the amount of different ones that there are. I feel like there's so much scope here. How are we going to narrow it down to the best Debt Lev titles? What's the selection process?
Well, I mean, the initial part would be just between us. You know, we're veterans not only of art in general, but of the game
And the war.
and the war.
Yeah, let's not forget.
Don't think you're still a veteran if you lived through but weren't there.
Yeah, of course you are. Even more.
Yeah,
Some have said.
I have.
Yeah, well, I heard
It's on
you.
my CV. So veterans of art and of the game.
Yeah.
So you know we know that whilst there are no bad ideas in brainstorming, some of them are shit, and we have to brush them aside.
You have to just smash those into dust.
Yeah, and you've got to be man enough to say, Isaac, your idea wasn't very good.
It's phrases like that Ding Dong Dad Vice is going to put a stop to, because every time you say man up, that's another dead dad.
Right, okay.
A big dead dad.
So what are we saying?
We're not saying anything.
Put your balls to the wall.
That's
and
it,
say-
yeah. Dads ahoy!
So we'd maybe get it down to a few, and then maybe one of our infamously popular Twitter polls for like a final four.
Okay.
Get it down. Like how Richard Osman does his moderately successful World Cups of whatever.
Of Christmas songs, we got it very wrong.
And Christmas films. Most things people
It's a shame
get
that
it
they all
wrong.
end up wrong, isn't it?
Well, I don't feel that's probably not his fault. I feel it's probably that
I feel
people...
he's enabling those wrongs.
Well, he is enabling them, but I don't suppose he necessarily believes in all their opinions and endorses them. But what I'm saying is that we have curated a much savvier listener base and therefore like voting base, jurisdiction. We've like gerrymandered the idiots out of Shame City. So they're no longer a problem for us.
You don't think they feel welcome when they listen to the show?
What, idiots?
Yeah.
No, because we do spend, I'd say 95% of our time
Doing
calling
an
them
attack
out.
on them.
Yeah. So I think then, they can vote to their favourites, and then maybe if we ever have any money we can make.
Okay, I like it. Or at least make a trailer for it.
Oh, well, we can definitely make a trailer.
sizzle
We can
reel.
always make a sizzle reel. Fuck me. Right, we'll get that man's voice back.
You'll come to the right guy.
Yeah. We get some more.
Yep. Check out the Hill House Sizzle Reel on patreon.com/Shame City if you don't know to what we're referring. Let me hit you with this.
Okay.
I was thinking, I'm going to walk you through my thought process for this one. I was thinking what's popular these days, and specifically what kind of is a packaged single chunk of content. I'm not talking like, Marvel films, because we can't do a Marvel film every week, can we?
No.
I think we could. I
No.
think you've let us down there, because I was hoping for a bit more confidence, but we're not going to, is what we'll say.
No.
We can, however, do, features from other media and translate them to audio. And that's where I'm going with this. I've taken one of the hottest feature properties in the world.
Right.
I'm going to smash it into a more Collindale, more us
Centric.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's bar pool karaoke.
Bar pool
Karaoke.
karaoke. Right?
The
So-
idea is we're in a bar. It's just us. Ding dong. That's not a dad this
Okay.
time.
All right. Okay.
That's someone at the door of the bar.
All right.
It's James Corden singing tunes and potting holes.
Right.
And that's just us enjoying ourselves. The chat comes from like the weirdness of the situation, like us, and we don't know James Corden, we don't really like him.
So sorry, can I just ask, are we actually getting James Corden involved?
Oh yeah, eventually. I guess that'll be something to lead towards, but I'll
So-
probably play him until we do get there.
Right, okay.
I'll find like a blonde wig.
So are you going to
Puff
be
my cheeks
playing
up a bit.
both of you in a kind of like Victor Victoria
I've
sort
got the
of...
range, it's fine. It's never been an issue for me so far.
No, I'm just thinking that it kind of I'd feel a bit left out if
You
you're.
can be in charge of the bar pool. So that's where
Okay.
that's kind of, this is my area, and then that's where I'd throw it over
So
to
what
you.
do I do?
You
Because
play the best game of pool.
But am I
you can.
actually playing it? Are
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
actually in a bar?
Yeah, because
are
there's
we
got to be an
hiring out a
ambience.
bar?
No, we're not hiring it out. We'll just sort of pop in and see
Right.
see what's there. What I'm thinking is we want to generate for the listener that kind of, it's almost an ASMR vibe of just pure bar atmosphere. They want the glasses clinking, maybe light conversation in the background, a drunk man banging his head on the ceiling as he steps up, and of course the love. It's a very satisfying sound, isn't it? The clink of ball against ball.
Oh, definitely. I'm only seeing one or two potential problems.
That's good.
One is that, I mean, we've not really done much recording outside of our traditional spheres,
and that's why I think
partly
it's time to
because
branch out.
it's unfathomably difficult.
But they do say where there's a will, there's a way.
Right, but this is with James,
Uh-huh.
not Will.
No, but we can get anyone, any Tom, Dick or Harry involved as we see fit.
So James Corden, that we're not like sold on that. It's
I think
not.
he's probably going to have to be involved purely from a legal standpoint, because quite clearly I've ripped off his idea.
Right.
But
So are we going to be doing karaoke as well?
yeah, more or less.
But
Probably
otherwise, it's not his idea, is it?
no, and that's what I'll be arguing with James when it
Okay.
comes to any kind of rights disputes in the future. If he's asking for, above 18% conservatively, then that's going to be an issue for me.
Okay.
You as well, I imagine. are not gonna be,
Yeah, sure.
You don't get out of bed for less than like a 50% cut.
25.
Oh, okay.
If it's going 5 ways.
Can I give you some dad advice? You
Yeah.
want to up your self-esteem.
You said
Ding dong.
You said yours was 18, so
No, that was James's.
oh, James is only getting 18.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. So what I'm also seeing is that one of the reasons it's difficult is that a bar, it's quite
Full
a
of characters.
difficult. It's quite a difficult environment to have any modicum of control over, and this is supposed to be the more controlled, featured, 0 laughs a minute kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I can see that. That could be an issue.
And especially if you're going to get James Corden in, as much as we don't like him,
Yeah.
a lot of people
true.
unreasonably do.
So you think he might be kind of stealing the limelight?
Oh, definitely. And
Is that the kind of person he is, though? Would he want to steal it? Certainly
yes.
he would. Yeah, okay, right. I'm binning that one.
okay,
No,
all right,
thanks.
well
that
done.
was
No,
good.
that's all
That was
right.
a good...
That's fine,
talked me
you know.
down. You talked me down.
Okay.
Hit me.
Inspector Ghouls Crime Schools brackets for cool ghouls.
Give it to me one more time.
Inspector Ghouls Crime Schools brackets for cool ghouls.
For cool ghouls
Yeah.
only or primarily?
Well, the for cool ghouls
Yeah.
is, I will admit, parenthetical.
So it's not the key
Doesn't
to the
no,
feature.
it doesn't have to be there. It's
I
just that
hope
I
that
like
is.
it. Yeah.
I'm a fan as well, so I'd like to keep that. I just don't know what it kind of implies about the content.
Don't worry, it will all be explained.
through it.
So, Inspector Ghoul,
That's me.
as we should all know,
Yeah,
is
I'll be. playing-
from
I don't know.
Inspector Calls.
Inspector Ghoul, is he called?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
that's the whole thing, because he might be a ghost. You see,
There you go.
but it's not spelt as in ghoul; it's spelt Goole. So there's a bit of mystery. So basically, he comes round in an Inspector Calls and is like, "Someone's dead. Guess whose fault it is? That's right, all of your faults,
Murder on the Orient
and
Express
all of
style.
our faults."
Not the audience.
Societies, of course, the audiences.
Oh, come on, Ghoul.
Yeah,
Don't give us that.
cop out.
Lecture.
Who did it or what? And he, he goes around and he does a big case.
Uh-huh.
He has a case, and you, as the audience member, are trying to help solve this case.
Okay.
Even though he sort of tells you up front.
Like Columbo.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a Columbo bit in it?
There could be. That's something we can change,
Right,
like
that's
week
flexible.
to week. Basically, the idea is, I mean, you've had experience in creating a murder mystery event.
Yeah.
One so traumatic
Wildly
you'll yet ever to
successful.
tell me
It's-
or anyone else I know about it.
Considered the greatest event there ever was, it's too hard to even begin to explain. But
That's
I
why
will
he didn't
one day
invite
work
me.
it into a show.
But
Uh-huh.
what I'm thinking is that we can take it in turns to create
Yeah.
a one-man murder mystery party. for the other.
Let me just chime in here if I may, because I've got as number 5, Half Past Murder, an interactive Miss Marble adventure.
Wow. So there we go.
In my conception, let's see how we can meld these.
Okay.
I was thinking, it sounds like a kind of similar thing, where you create one of us, a sort of like dungeon master journey through
D&D-esque
a
sort
mad, well, not necessarily mad, but, probably given our personalities and
proclivities.
Yeah. Through some kind of mystery experience with a whole host of characters.
That's exactly what I had in mind.
That's sold, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it would be up to the other one to kind of work their way through the case, maybe with some audience interaction in terms of like voting. We could leave it at a cliffhanger like,
Next week.
should Miss Marble and Inspector Ghoul turn left or right? And everyone would be
How
like,
cool are these
left.
ghouls?
And then we'd go left, and that would be obviously the
wrong
wrong
answer,
way.
yeah.
And it would lead us down a great big goose chase.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm thinking that this is something that needs to happen.
It wouldn't be a weekly thing. It would probably be
episodic, yeah.
every month or two. So
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I think this could happen.
Let's put a pin in it, but one of those gold pins means come
Great.
back
That
to it.
means definitely, yeah. Okay, well, go on then.
Kildare Workshop. Kildare
Workshop.
And I've put this bit in caps because it is important.
Okay.
Simulate battling increasingly large animals, and then, if you thought that was already good, we're going to talk about how we'd salvage their parts for wacky inventions.
I don't think it needs any workshop. I think it's perfect.
It's as is.
Yeah.
It's already solid.
Done. Yeah.
Cool. What do you want to start with? I was thinking eagle.
Oh, so we're starting smaller but deadly,
Yep.
and then going up and
Larger
up
but
and up.
stupider.
Yeah.
Until we end with the largest and
cumbersome.
stupidest animal of all, a mountain.
They are so
Fucking idiots.
not stealthy. See them
Try as
coming
they
a
might.
mile off.
It's so embarrassing when you have to be like, where could Everest be? And it's
Just
chuckling
to
away.
like pat his ego. But they've got the health.
True. Yeah, no, it
No
takes a
stealth
while.
or health. That's the mountain credo.
The mantra. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So what? So did you want to do a little demo then?
No, I'm done
Given
with it.
that
I
it's
think
that-
if the
Okay.
proof of concept worked for you already, then I've got no more to add.
Yeah, I mean,
That one, I guess, came to me quite fully
I
formed.
suppose I would, given that I know certainly my knowledge of what can be successfully harvested from all of nature's giants is probably not as thorough as it could be, because
Well, we'll have to get an expert.
given it's not a hunter-gatherer age, I've sort of left that stuff by the wayside a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not to make assumptions, but I presume that you're in a similar, probably a better position.
I think a lot about the different ways to salvage parts and everything in my life, but you're right that I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
yet.
So, I mean, I think that we'd need maybe again through the Twitter polls or whatnot, or just asking
logic.
for emails and whatnot. I'm thinking we'd need to have the animal decided maybe a week in advance.
Yeah.
And then we can each just do a little bit of research.
not
Weak spots.
much, though.
No, not much, but just like weak spots, takedown moves, and then things that we'd really be looking for.
We've got to work out what its power move would
Because
be,
I
like
would
its height.
hate to embarrass myself on the show by saying I'd spend a week skinning an eagle. I need to find out that eagle skin's worthless.
Although they don't have skin, which, funnily enough, is the case with the
They don't have skin. Feathers straight into the muscle.
into the bone.
Into the bone.
Yeah, it's really
The
odd.
muscle's kind of like round the
It's
outside of
the
it.
only animal for which that is the case, apart from
The whale.
correct. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So
Give me your next one.
um,
That's getting a silver pin from me.
now this is one that we have spoken about before. We
Okay.
thought about introducing, but I mean we never gave it a title.
Uh-huh.
It's called Written by Rando.
Ah, now are we spelling Rando with a W-R? Because I hope so.
Of course we are.
Or we could spell written with just an R and no
Yeah,
W.
either way, I suppose it's whichever looks better on the branding
Yeah.
when we come to that.
I'll do some mock-ups. I'll get our design guy on it.
Yeah, some way similar to Full Metal Detlef. There's no reason the two couldn't be kind of like brought together, or that
No,
Full
well, that's
Metal
on
Detlef
brand,
be a
isn't it?
feature. Yeah, exactly. But basically, what we thought was we pick a medium,
Yep.
and then we get
Tennis.
5. That's it's not quite a medium.
Oh, right, okay.
You've thought of a very specific sport.
Hockey.
Good.
Yeah, okay,
Hockey
I'm there.
is a medium. It's a fine line, but
Yeah.
the listeners will cotton on. We pick I was thinking more of an artistic medium.
Got it. Flip books.
Yeah, so flip books.
Check books.
And then very much the opposite of
Matchbox.
that. Now that's
Yeah.
where we're on. We take that medium, get a random word generator up. So, no control. We're not bullshitting here. This isn't Mock the Week where they get all the jokes and questions a week before.
Give it a rest, Mock. That's what I say every time it comes on the TV, don't I?
Even though his
Give it
name's
a rest,
Dara,
Mock.
you keep shouting that at him in the street on Twitter. He's not answering. And we have to come up with the world's greatest, obviously, pitch for how we would get these words involved in a story, title, or even full piece. This could be anything from what would our movie be? And then we'd maybe make the trailer. Or what would this poem be? And we only go ahead and write it live on air.
Fuck, live on
air.
in the booth.
Here, just whispering into
That's
the
mad. Let me throw this spin at you because I've had a similar idea. This was in fact my bonus idea because I thought it was the one perhaps with the most legs. Now, that will surprise you because you've heard Ding Dong Dad Vice, you've heard Barpool Karaoke, you've heard Kildare Workshop, and you'll already be loving those. I had this one which is similar, but it kind of it narrows down the concept a bit more.
Right.
It's in the same vein. It's called Big Good Trends, and that's a working title because you know me, I've got no
So
ego.
would that be hashtag big good trends?
It can be.
If it's a
no
trend,
reason why not to be.
it should maybe.
You're already getting where I'm going with
yeah.
this. What I'm suggesting is a various approach to the content selection, using a mixture of randomly generated words, as you said,
Right.
pre-written phrases in the style of that T-shirt game that we play on Jackbox.
Right, okay, yeah.
Where you sit down and write like 50 weird phrases in advance, like "too hot for milk?" ? Things like that, with no context for what they're going
Ding
to be used
dong,
on.
dad vice.
Exactly that. And then we'd bring a certain amount of them to the show, not knowing where we were going with them. And listener suggestions. We try to pitch the internet's next big thing. Now, the reason I like this is because it has scope and also specificity. Like, it's broad enough that the next big thing could be like Slender Man, but it could also be like the alt-right. There's a lot of things going on, but
Who's to say the two aren't linked?
I'm certain that they are. And the slant our way into it is that we know internet culture. We are internet culture.
we are.
I think that's what people think of when they think of the IC these days, which is what we call it online, of course,
Yes.
because we're too busy for full words in 2018. So
Dealing.
with our particular sideways look on internet culture, I feel that we're uniquely positioned to not only predict, but in some ways enforce the next big thing, the next trend, the next Twitter moment.
Right.
And it might be through this idea. It could be a film. It could be like a YouTube viral video. It could be the return of Vine. Anything goes.
I really like this idea, but I feel like, you've mentioned that we have an awful lot of power here. And as you know from,
Spider-Man.
Waterworld, maybe they say it in Spider-Man too, but with great
Pretty
power,
wet in here.
there's a lot to do.
Yeah, they do say that.
So, as you say, one of the next big things could be the alt-right.
Yeah.
If we make a convincing enough case, we could get the alt-right and actually end up starting
But
it.
what if the alt-right is actually a spin off to the left?
Right,
and
well,
they
it
just
could be.
Beyblade off. Woo!
It could be, but then it could also just go even more.
But if you go far right enough, like in Pac-Man,
Yeah.
come back around. I think that's a very
Do you
accurate and good
find that?
horseshoe
Yeah. Do
theory.
you think that tends to work? Do you?
It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's proven historically, and I guess that's
Yes.
where the data comes from.
Yeah.
There's been no proof to the contrary as well, so
No, none at all. There's
that
not a
ticks
single
both the
piece of
boxes
evidence
for
for
us
that. Yeah.
to both agree that's true.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so.
So that's my idea. I think there's something in it.
Yeah,
And
I
clearly,
think
if
so.
we both come up with this concept, there's something there. I like because I'm a big fan of podcasts that just pitch random things. There are quite a few of them. Cool Games Inc. is the best one, and really, it's the best concept that there is. But we can't just do that.
No.
But in this idea, we could one time, if all the words aligned, it could be a flash game, a Newgrounds side scroller.
Yeah.
And then the next week, oh, what's that? We've pitched the new Democratic candidate for, I don't know, Vancouver.
Highbury and
That's
Islington.
Canada. Anything goes. Have a look.
I'm on board. I think so.
I'm glad to hear it.
Okay. Shack to the Future.
Ooh. Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
A horrid beach shack.
No.
Right, I'm lost.
It's a cross between Shame
Right. Oh, shame.
and Back to the Future.
Shouldn't it be shake to the future then? If it's like shame,
No.
shack.
No, it's just the sh.
Okay. That
From
could
shame.
now that could be a branding issue, but there's nothing a good
Back
logo
to the
will
shame.
solve. No, there is something a good logo.
Shame
will
to the
solve
past.
No, I'm hating that idea a lot actually. But
The
tell me
future shame.
that was much better.
Okay. Basically,
Just rerun old episodes.
you've got me.
Yes.
No, what I'm thinking is the past.
Yeah.
There's fucking loads of it.
There's loads of stuff there. Yeah.
Like too much. Or like way too
More
much.
than we'd care to mention.
Well, yeah, certainly more than we have.
Uh-huh.
And I think certainly we don't actually know as much as we should
About the past.
about the past,
Right,
and about all the
okay.
stuff that's happened. And I'm thinking that also, I mean, whenever you look at stuff about the past, it's
Like
one
on Wikipedia.
it's one great big shame. Like the whole thing was a shame.
Yeah, there's a load of bad
The whole
stuff,
of the past was very, very bad.
Yeah.
I'm getting worse by the second. So,
But backwards, you mean? Getting worse backwards by a
Both.
second. Okay, cool.
there was a point in the middle where it's great and it gets worse
That was
going
when
out
Jesus
from
was
there.
born.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
if
then
you
it
want.
fucked up.
But that, that's a view that we hold. But that's
All
something
of
we
us.
should maybe look into.
Okay, so you're saying interrogate our
Our own
implicit
preconceived
bias.
biases
That's a
about
good
historical
idea.
shame. And along the way, learn something new and unearth some historical shames, educating ourselves and the listeners while all having a
And
little
then
bit
sell
of
them to the
good,
museum.
healthy, educational, shame-based fun.
Edutainment. That's what this is.
That is it.
I'm in. How does it work? We pick a year and then talk about everything that happened one day at a time.
No, I feel like that could last a bit long. What I'm thinking,
Half a year.
What I'm thinking is that maybe, like, if say it's your turn to lead the session, that I will.
We'll be calling it a session.
Well, yeah, maybe a lecture,
Okay.
seminar,
Yeah, I think seminar's more
seminar
inclusive.
leader. Yeah. So if you're leading the seminar next week on
Yeah.
Shack to the Future,
Yeah.
TM, then I'd give you a year. And you'd have to go and find some shame.
What if you gave me a year that didn't actually happen?
Like what? If I gave you
Pi.
11T3,
Yeah. Then what am I just up the
wouldn't.
creek without a
I
paddle?
wouldn't do that to you.
What if you gave me a year that you thought contained a lot of content and it turned out everyone was away that year?
I mean, I haven't looked into every year, but I've never found that
No, but
everyone's
you wouldn't,
been
would you?
away.
Because you don't hear about them. It's an implicit reporting bias.
Right, so you think that there's a non-zero chance
So many of them.
that some years that no one was there.
Everyone was on holiday. Yeah.
But holidays are a great time for shame.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
say nobody
is
wrote
that
any of it down.
They say what happens on holiday stays on holiday.
Yeah, but we're here to break through those taboos.
I just don't know if we'll be able to unearth the documentation.
Look, I think if we can get James Corden to the Chandos Arms, I think we can do
Playing
anything.
Barpool,
Yeah,
singing his heart out.
yeah,
Sure, why not?
I think so.
Let me hit you with this one. I'll be honest, it's my least developed idea and my
Okay.
final one. But I think there's something about the title slogan combo that we can run with. So get ready for this. I'm going to throw it to you
Okay.
now. Here it goes. Go long. Spinecraft. Get your bone on.
Spinecraft, get your bone on.
Hey, get your bone on. That's it.
Now,
Yep. You're going to have
before
questions and that's natural.
yeah. My first question is: are you going to have any answers?
Of course.
Okay. My first is not so much a question, more of a statement.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your bone on
Yeah.
sounds so very sexual
Oh.
that I feel like we might be off-putting
That's
swathes of
weird.
the audience.
I think that's probably more, and I don't know if you meant to reveal this, but that's more of an insight into your thinking than how spinecraft sounds. Because, of course, the spine is a bone. Crafting, that's traditionally done with bones. So together, that's a very bony field.
Yeah, no, I
Like
I
a
get
graveyard,
that.
the boniest field that there is.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, we don't want to leave ourselves open to any misinterpretations by people who might be more immature.
Okay. They do say sex sells. So if we're accidentally
Right.
suggesting
But it's not
on the
sexy.
slide that get your bone on might mean that you can, I don't know, marry one of these spines and make it your bony wife, then that's just another bonus.
That's not quite where I meant when I said it was sexual. Like, this
Oh.
isn't like the, bikini-clad lady they get to lie on top of a Ferrari, so you
Right.
buy one.
But that's just a branding issue, isn't it? Like, we can hire any models that we need.
Yes, but
Our friends are
I'm saying that
stylists, so we can get this.
no one's sexy enough to say, get your bone on!
thinking we
And a
get-
kid not go, lol.
Elsa Hosk, she's draped around I'm talking a giant spine, like the big dragon in the Natural History Museum, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger. She's draped around it. There's probably diamonds and oil just dripping off it.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
then she looks at the camera and just says, "Get your bone on." And then it's like, Spinecraft. Not necessarily in the
Stolen
Sega.
the Sega.
jingle.
Okay, well, I'm loving the enthusiasm of
I
it.
have thought of an issue though, because what I said there was a TV advert and this is a podcast.
Yeah, that is one real big problem. But let's, if we put a wooden pin, maybe.
Okay, is that
that's a
one-
stake in the tagline.
Okay.
but let's focus on Spinecraft. What is Spinecraft? Also, just another footnote. We don't necessarily want to be too closely related to that guy,
Which guy?
Notch,
Notch. What do you mean?
off of Minecraft.
What's the relation?
Minecraft and Spinecraft.
Right. Well, one of those is about mines, and one of them is about the
Yes, but
spine.
they do rhyme.
That only English boffins are going to notice that, Declan.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Silly.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
That's a
no.
real reach. I mean, I know you like to criticise, but
Stretch Armstrong
yeah.
kind of style.
play
Yeah, okay.
the ball, not the man. Okay.
Yeah,
Get
alright.
your bone on. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Spinecraft are us. Let's go.
okay. So for me, Spinecraft is a feature as much as it is a framework for developing content in general. It stems from this idea. And it's interesting that I've used the word stem there because the spine is the stem of the back.
It is.
The human stem. It stems from this idea that everything branches off a central core. And if we can nail what that is, if we can, dare I say, craft that spine, TM, because we will get that trademarked, then everything will just flow from there. What do you think?
Feels thin.
That it's as thick or thin as you craft it.
Right.
So the potential is in your hands.
So give me an example. Do a little demo.
Well, the thing is, it's a very personal process.
Right.
And for every person, there is their own approach to the Spinecraft.
Okay.
And it's a bit like those demons.
But we'll be the only ones doing it.
Yeah, but we'll probably do it privately and then commune to share the ideas that flow from the spinal fluid, the spinal craft.
Okay.
The spinal tap, I suppose, in some sense, the faucet of
But
fluid.
that feels again like something else we should avoid copyright-wise.
What?
Spinal Tap.
Is that a Minecraft thing as well?
No, that's a film.
Oh, haven't. Okay. I mean, if you say so, you watch more film 4 than I do, so I guess I'll.
No, it's just, whether you've seen it or not, that ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Yeah, that's fair. What I'm saying is, Bones, podcasts, it's time there was a marriage there.
Right?
And I think if we were the first to do it, the sharp end of the spear, again, a
Yeah.
classically bony implement.
Definitely.
If we were the first to get our bone on live on air, then I think that's going to catapult us up the marketplace of ideas.
You think that it's a gap in the market?
Absolutely.
You think people are the huddled masses
They're crying
yearning
out
for
it.
bone content?
Well, they don't know, do they? That's the thing. They don't know what they want.
Like, no
It's-
one knew they needed an iPhone.
Exactly.
And then they went, here it is. Everyone went, fuck me sideways. Give me 10.
Where's this been all my life?
Yeah.
I'll queue for it and they're going to queue for Spinecraft.
Okay, yeah.
Spinecraft, get your bone on.
But they won't have to because they can just download it.
Exactly, and that's how we've beaten Steve Jobs.
Okay, well,
as ghost.
I mean, I certainly like the vision.
Good, that's because that's what I was pitching. Really, I did
Yeah.
say in terms of the specifics. This one
Yeah.
has,
Yeah,
has
a
somewhat
bit-
to do, but
yeah,
that's
a bit wide.
really we should see ourselves as paleontologists in that regard, and we take that tiny brush and we just chip
get
away
rid
at
of
the
the sand.
spine until out of the sand emerges an entire shape.
The Indominus Rex.
Absolutely.
There it is. Okay,
One more from you.
last one. Okay, and this
No
one-
pressure because you are following a good one. Though,
No,
don't feel pressure if you can.
Okay, this one is called Romeo G. Detlev
Oh,
at 64 Sesamstraße.
okay. Well, let me say off the bat, I'm loving the European flavour because in this
it's
tumultuous political time, it's good. I think that we are throwing our lot in with unity and with a trading bloc and with all the bureaucracy that entails.
Yeah, well, I think we should because government aren't.
No, they couldn't care less.
No.
So that's good.
So what I'm thinking is we've spoken a couple of times
We have.
about.
Sorry,
yeah,
you were
no,
clarifying.
we have, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, but specifically about kids' TV shows, about art,
yeah.
about life, about the ways in which different art appeals to different cultures and different peoples. And Detlev, as we know, coming from Romeo G. Detlev Jr.,
Which anagrams to I am Lord Voldemort in Croatian,
Albanian,
something
who
like
knows,
that.
something like that. They're evidencing a bit of our own ignorance.
Yeah.
But that's what this is aimed at eliminating.
Okay,
Erase.
so you've got a real educational drive at the moment.
I'm thinking that, we owe it to our listeners because the Sunday shows, frankly, I think are actually working against people's
So that's
intelligence.
countering the
So
intelligence
yeah,
they
so
already
we're not like actually making anyone more, we're just sort of leveling it out, I think.
Oh, I hadn't realised that.
Unless, lest we be branded as sort of like health detriment.
Yeah, well-
like Jamie Oliver comes after us once he's finished with Relentless.
That's fair, yeah.
So what I'm thinking is we should maybe turn our eyes to the rest of the world and see what art they're doing. But then I thought I don't really have much time or interest in what that is. So what I'd rather look at is Western English art, but in other countries. And what it's like.
okay.
So Romeo G. Detlev Jr. was Harry Potter, but translated. And then, Sesamstraße is obviously
No idea.
Sesame Street.
Oh!
Sesamstraße is
Wow, it's
German.
got a real ring
it's
to it.
German Sesame Street.
They got their bone on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure.
Spine-crafted the fuck out of it, they did. And we have a look at, what differences there are because
How scary is German Elmo?
horrifying. Not as bad though as what you may have seen, which is Russian Winnie the Pooh.
Oh god, Russian Winnie the Pooh is absolute nightmare fuel.
It's
Why is it animated like a sort of mad pitch you might make for the Peveril brothers bit in Harry Potter?
yeah, it's really very quite disturbing. And Winnie the Pooh himself has never looked less lovable.
No.
He looks like a sort of
Angular
shadow form.
Yeah.
Like in Twin Peaks when, you've got your evil doppelganger, your Bob form. It's basically what Russian Winnie the Pooh is.
He is like that.
And it's a shame because you're during something like the Cold War, the last thing you need is to be making the world's most haunting children's television.
That's not going to be good for morale.
No.
It's just not.
No. So, but what I'm thinking is it's probably an absolute treasure trove of content. And seeing
need to hire
how
someone.
things are translated in other languages. I think I mentioned in one of our really early episodes that one of my favourite facts from learning German at school is that one of the titles of The Importance of Being Earnest, when translated into German, one of the official titles translated back as "It's essential there be someone called Ernest,"
The must!
and which loses every single little bit of punnage in the title. So I'm thinking, let's have a look at these fucking foreign idiots, eh?
Oh,
well, not idiots.
Oh, hang on. I'm not sure I like that angle.
No, well, not idiots, but we all make mistakes.
I don't think we can say foreign.
Foreign?
Don't think we can say that anymore.
We can't say that.
No, not in the feature.
What would you say?
I'd say
Overseas.
friends from elsewhere. Friends from no man's land.
That sounds like a euphemism for gay. he's a friend from elsewhere. I don't think that's doing much more for our cause.
No.
I'm on board. Well, let's clarify. We don't want to leave the listeners thinking that we actually, are xenophobic or anything.
No, absolutely.
Even though we've dedicated a feature to mocking
Russian
their translation
Winnie
of our,
Well, if they will make him so scary,
I'm going to
someone's
have
gotta
to point it out. So what term should we use?
Let's go with Johnny Foreigner, because then it gives a personage to him. It makes him relatable.
Oh yeah, definitely. It doesn't hark back to days of empire.
Racist football, hooligans and stuff as well.
Or yeah.
Nah, it's fine.
No, that'd be all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Foreigner meets Romeo Juliet 11 64 Sesamstraße.
It's catchy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like it's gone beyond long, hasn't it? So like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So you're like, which is it?
I clocked out a witch.
Yeah. So, but you want to go something like really long.
The Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe, Edmund, Lucy,
the man,
idiot,
yeah,
Tumnus, and the big lamppost.
Like the
Suddenly
man,
you're back on
the
board.
man who mistook his wife for a hat. Like that's long. That's lots of words.
Yeah.
They might all be short, but it's lots of words. But it works
plenty.
because it goes like beyond a long title.
It's post-long.
back round again. So what we're doing is we're doing post long.
Okay,
And we're going
which
even
is the new
further.
short.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's good to know, because I don't think people are talking about that enough, because they're afraid to, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And it's on shows like this that we have to really knuckle down to the
use
truth.
this white privilege that we've got,
Yeah.
that we keep going on about.
Spew it all over the airwaves.
Shove it down everyone's throats.
There it is.
That's what.
Get your bone on. That's what Spinecraft's all about. Spinecraft is not a racist.
We've inadvertently created the alt-right, just as we predicted.
We're so on trend, it's painful. Well, I think there's some great ideas there.
I think there's
And I
stuff.
think, like I said before the show, we've managed to till some fertile creative ground from which, no one would have expected.
We've chucked some, may I say, bone meal on it.
Nice. That's a Spinecraft.
Uh-huh.
We've had Dad Vice, we've had German Elmo, we've had really all sorts. And I think, whilst there may not be any actionable ones just yet, we've certainly set the stage for some great content down the line.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Let's have a little time check, because I have to go now. I think we might have to postpone the week.
Postpone the week in shame. So we'll do a fortnight in shame.
Yeah, we'll have a double week in shame next Wednesday.
We can do that.
Imagine that, guys. Think of how up to date you're going to be.
As a little teaser trailer for it, we've got sexy politicians.
Nice, everyone likes them.
We've got mysteries involving airing cupboards.
Ooh.
We've got an expensive goat hunt.
Good. Best kind of goat hunt.
We've got return of the well-intentioned art restorers.
Good.
And we've got creepy Alexa.
Excellent. These and many more will be yours to enjoy next Wednesday. Until then, Declan, how can people...
Until Sunday, you mean?
Oh, what? Are you saying we do...
No. But you said they'll get those next Wednesday, and then said until then, like we're not going to do a Sunday episode.
Oh, yeah, fucking lies.
Goodness
that was.
me.
Until Sunday, okay.
Yes.
How can people get in touch with the show?
Well, they could email us. No,
is that wrong?
I got that wrong.
Try
TAS.
again. Have
They
another
can
go.
email us.
Yep.
TAS, TAS, at shame.city.
True enough.
They can also get in touch, get into the email inbox without even interfacing with email itself by visiting shame.city/contact.
Good fun.
They
You're
can
gonna
get
enjoy
in.
that.
Oh, I tell you what, those colours,
Yeah. There's some like
Sexy as
text
hell.
that just writes itself as well.
it's amazing.
Good fun.
You can find us on Twitter.
Yep.
The show can be found at That's a Shamecast. Cat pictures aplenty.
Are there?
Well, you and and Shy
yes.
Yeti and Kevin have all
Yeah,
been sharing.
that's true. I remember now. That was true.
You can find Isaac at IsaacBD. He's been doing a couple of tweets the last few days.
Yeah,
It's
I have a bit of
madness.
Twitter mood
Yeah.
at the moment, yeah.
You can find myself at DE Delane. You can obviously Womibomb. Word of mouth is the best of mouth.
Always.
If you've got a couple of dollars to throw our way for just, what is it, 25 cents an episode,
An ep.
they get access to what, Isaac?
Oh, nothing good. Just joking. Have a look at patreon.com/shamecity. There's all kinds of rewards there, including at least three, and we've done 2 already.
I know.
In like the last few days. Quickfire shames. There are mini special bonus episodes.
And those are from what, 50? Is that 50 cents
That's
an
50
episode?
cents an episode.
That's
yeah,
mad.
it's
That's
not
still
bad, is
mad
it, guys?
content,
We're
isn't it?
trying our best for you, lads.
Exactly. And so if you have anything to give there, patreon.com/shamecity, as Isaac says.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you could leave us a review.
Or
5
you could
stars
ding dong your
only.
own advice.
I wouldn't recommend
Go
that
out
just
there
yet.
and ding dong any dads you know.
I would
and
just
give
I
them
would,
the advice.
I would
the
just
dad advice.
hold on to that. Build up the enthusiasm. Maybe write down a lot of the advice.
Tell us how it goes.
Have it ready.
Maybe film the dad advice.
Maybe don't go out until we've tested that
Tested
ground.
the waters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we want to be the pioneers.
Okay,
yeah.
that's true. If you're going to
Yeah.
ding dong dad advice, like keep it on the down low for now.
Yeah.
Hold on to it. and
Or
it'll
at the
be
very
coming.
least, name drop Isaac.
Yeah. And
No,
Declan as
Isaac.
well.
It's Isaac's.
At DE.
It's
Delane.
Isaac's birth child.
Birth child.
It's his birth
That's just a
child.
normal child, you horrid idiot.
No.
You were saying reviews.
Yes.
Yeah. 5 stars.
Shame.city/review or shame.city/reviews.
The world is your oyster.
Exactly.
Until Sunday, which is going to be a fun episode because I can feel it.
Hopefully a little bit
The
cooler.
sun's out, fun's out, they say, don't they?
Sun's out, sweat's out, more
That's
like.
the one. I've been Isaac, you've been...
I've been Declan.
Catch you round the back. Get your bone on.
Bye, guys.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. The bare necessities